Everybody back to the Vainglory China Invitational. It's been a long day here of Vainglory action, but we're not done yet. We've got ETW versus DMG. The final match is going to be a best-of-1 tiebreaker. The winner moves on in first place. The loser still moves on, but in second.
Yeah, and I would assume that getting first puts you up against the second place team.
Most likely.
Of the other side of the bracket. So obviously you'll face the lesser of the two evils, I suppose, and that'll put you in a better spot. You get into the winner's bracket, you'll have an easier chance at least, and then from there, you'll only have to win one game to get into the finals. So it'll be much easier after all, as it will be double elimination in that semifinals. But we're jumping straight into this one, guys. A best-of-1 to decide who is going to get first and who will be second.
All right, Godfather gets Sky again. We're going back to the beginning, back to the basics. MX is going to get Rona, and we are going to see Dead Doll running Arden. On the other side of things, we're going to have Rona, Scarf, and Arden, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe as well.
Yes.
We're coming full circle. It's the circle of Vainglory here over the course of the 10 hours that we have been here at the studio. It's been fun, Wolf. We've had a blast doing this. Vainglory,
Yes.
of course, very fun to cast and to play. I'm just excited to see Xifeng play again. Xifeng,
Xifeng,
Xifeng.
yeah, that's how we say that. All right, well, I'm excited to see Godfather on Sky again because we saw really incredible control and bullying in the lane, and we saw Godfather play on Sky. It was actually versus
Ideo,
that's right. So not the best player he was laning against, but still, I liked his control. I liked his ults were really good.
Oh yeah, that 3-man ults that he lined up at the end of that game.
Yeah. Well, Xifeng is taking a lot of damage here.
Ooh, gets slowed as well by the other Rona, but gonna turn around. We do have Scarf trying to join the fight, but again, this is just gonna give a slight advantage towards DMG and give a little bit of extra farm towards Sky.
And that's exactly what he wants, and that's what this is all about. That's basically the playstyle of DMG. It's very basic. It's hard to counter, but I mean, it's basic enough to where anyone can look at this and go, oh, okay, I get it. This is what they're doing. They're just trying to constantly give him the most farm and pressure the jungle, not for kills, not for stealing jungle farm, but just give pressure so that he can actually farm better.
It seems like the earliest the tactic that they use to get that advantage is by skipping the little minions and just jumping straight into the enemy bush, so you get the first hit and the first couple of abilities off that will give you the slight edge in the fight. So it seems like DMG's kind of got that down, whereas some of these other teams are not as crisp, I suppose, with their jungle strategies, their jungle timings.
Also, I mean, Godfather is one of the best laning players in the game, so he can actually capitalize on that a lot better than some other players. I mean, we're talking about early game specifically right now, but even in the mid game, where this sort of same sort of pressure is going on.
Yeah, we have a one-handed player from ETW. I could never do that, especially on that big of an iPad. I have to put it down on the desk and use 2 hands.
That's insane. I could never do that either.
Think about how fast he must be to like move from stutter stepping and using abilities. Like, how do you even do that? Maybe he uses his other thumb to press the abilities. I've seen some people do that.
Maybe he also uses his other finger or thumb on the left side of the screen every now and then to stutter step.
Maybe he uses the thumb on his right hand and like uses his other fingers to stutter step and to target and stuff. Either way, I think it's harder. For me, personally.
Speaking of stutter stepping, look at Godfather's control here again. We're seeing it line up. He is just bullying Scarf right now like crazy. Does eat a turret hit by mistake, but otherwise very well placed.
I mean, Sky is a very strong hero at that. Just being able to do stuff like that where you can reset your forward barrage. You don't even need to land a Suri strike.
Now notice ETW doing what they showed us in the previous match versus DMG in Game 2 especially, is their proclivity to actually drop a ton of traps, a bunch of scout traps, and it's working out really well for them already in this game as well. You know, we saw Dead Doll and MX try to go in and bully a little bit. They stepped on those scout traps and pushed them back. Yeah, it's not cheap to do that, but I think it's worth it overall. And very inexpensive scout traps.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a very big fan of roamers who do that in my solo queue games, or if they're playing in pro games as well. I think it's just so important. Rather than getting like a small extra item, you can turn the tide of fights just by positioning and timing and vision, rather than having an extra light armor to trade for 5 scout traps. So I think it's definitely a big part of playing that roam position for sure.
Yeah, and we're seeing them, replace them basically instantly as well. And we saw there's like a whole line of them in the bush there. The burn damage going down here on MX. Very even game so far. DMG just having a 900 gold lead, no kills, as mining has begun.
Yeah, seems like DMG is definitely respecting ETW as a team a bit more this time around. I would also favor DMG coming into this one, even though ETW was able to take a game. I think that was mainly due to letting Shifeng getting way too far ahead on that Rona and not really dealing with it. This time they ban out the Rona. Or no, actually, they don't. There's 2 Ronas in this team. Sorry, guys.
That's fine.
But instead of that, they just try to play a bit more aggressive in the jungle and not be too over-aggressive on Godfather in the lane.
Yeah. Being over-aggressive was one of the keys as well, I think. Oh, we're going to see a big fight here. The camera pans back in for us. I'm not used to looking at a Halcyon unfold like this.
Yeah,
throws me off.
Pretty funny angle coming in here. Lots of scout traps going off.
Yeah, DMG walking right into the scout traps. But, this angle, also a 3v2, it's going to be a DMG fight. 100%. Sky just needs one more auto.
Oh, look at Arden going deep. He's not going to get it.
He's not getting it.
Will he go down? That's the other question.
I think so. Oh, barely not there. It's still a pretty big advantage here. All right, that's how I'm used to looking at this game.
Oh, there we go. Now we can tell what's going on.
They're still going to get the gold mine off of this. You know what's funny? In early game, in this game as well as other games of this genre, sometimes it's better to not kill someone, because if they die, they come back with their respawn timers like shorter than the time it takes to recall, and they come back to full health. But if you don't kill them, then they have to recall and wait to have full health. So it's kind of funny how that works out. If you don't kill someone, you don't get the money, but it takes them longer to come back and contest something like this. So,
yeah, I mean, you could definitely work out like the very, very tiny advantages there, but
I mean, it definitely wasn't intentional, but in this case, I think they might have realized, like, well, it'll take them a few more seconds to come back, and so let's go ahead and do this. And they did get the mine.
Yeah, DMG going strong so far in this game. Shifeng not throwing around his axes, owning up the game this time around, at least not yet. I think giving Sky to Godfather was actually a mistake as well. That's what we'll have to see. Shifeng coming out here taking a huge amount of damage now.
Huge damage being dropped down. But, Godfather continuing to bully Scarf in the lane.
Yeah, making it look easy. Looks like it's 68. I'm trying to read that number there, 68 to 55.
That's right.
In farm for the laners here. So even though he is bullying the lane, you can even see it in the numbers as well. Now Rona going back here for ETW. Looks like 2 members of DMG just going to come back in the lane, get some farming down.
Yeah. And Dead Doll's just going to sit here.
Godfather's just going to sit here, not really sure. There we go. Coming back to life.
Yeah.
Taking a bit of a break, his hands were tired.
So yelling at his teammates like, this is what I say.
Gets up and whacks his Rona player in the face like, what are you doing? Come to the lane. Can't you hear me?
Rona's like, nah, let's fight. Godfather is going to go ahead and blast out a bunch of damage there from the safety distance, and a huge ult there will kill Rona.
Yeah, the gauntlet stun from the wall into the Sky ultimate means you are going to die, essentially. Really loving the combination of these 2 heroes so far.
So, again, just a small victory here for DMG. And they're going to continue to press that advantage, trying to go for a turret push here.
We'll see what they can do, how much damage they can realistically get down. I think this Arden is getting way too ahead of himself.
Yeah, Remix is really pushing the issue a bit too far. Keep in mind, Rona is farming the jungle throughout all of this, so this is not wasted time for her. If they protect the gold mine for just a few more seconds, they are going to get that immense gold payout, that 300 gold payout. It's almost up, it's almost ready.
I'm gonna throw down a minion candy as well to secure and make sure they can get that massive gold payout there. Indeed.
Notice again the difference in gold spent on scout traps for ETW. They just buy a lot more. We see DMG just buys your standard average vision scout traps, not really coverage scout traps.
Yeah, I was talking about the benefits of buying a lot of scout traps before, but maybe with the nerf to their damage, maybe DMG's idea is a bit more steady. Because over time, let's say you buy like 15, 20 less scout traps, that's a lot of that. That's a lot of gold that could have gone to at least a minor item in your favor.
Yeah, no, I mean I have to agree. There's definitely both sides to the coin. Rona getting aggressive up here.
Oh boy.
Caught.
Having to throw out the gauntlet. That's
not even gonna save him.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. Now Scarf getting caught out here. The gauntlet on the other side going to go down, and that's going to be 2 free kills, as well as what should be a turret.
Yeah, especially with that ult going down the top of the turret, this is going to be an easy free turret. And if Shifang stays, he's actually going to go down as well. They need to kill that turret, though.
He's doing a bit of damage, but you're not going to win 1v3. Even with the turret exploding here and doing a bunch of damage, that's going to be that. They do not get the ace, but they do get the turret and a 3rd kill. Further pushing their edge and the gold payout there.
I'm just going to recall home. Gold payout comes in, puts the lead at 4,000 gold, 4.5 in fact. At this point in time, at 10 minutes into the game, nearly 11 minutes into the game. Godfather actually stays, steals some farm.
Yeah, no real reason for him to go back when he's got this much health and energy. Can just take the minions.
It's really funny that Scout Trap is positioned in such a way that it's almost never going to be stepped on. It keeps getting vision of whenever the Godfather goes to the shop, but he's not stepping on it, so it's not revealed.
Yeah, those are the money Scout Traps. You got to find those places, but it's like there's a weird Scout Trap meta if you think about it, because it's like, they always place it in that spot, so I gotta clear that spot. But then once the other team finds out about that, they begin to place it in a slightly different spot. And the other team doesn't catch on, but once they catch on, of course you gotta switch it up again. So
yeah, it's true.
It's very funny, but a small mini game within Vainglory.
Oh, well, 1-for-1 trade here. Remix is gonna go down, it looks like, though. He doesn't have the turret to save him. I think that engagement that he took there was under the assumption that turret was still operational, but it is in fact not. Shifang needs to be careful here too, because this is a very, very scary position. They're just going to ignore him, in fact. I don't know if ignoring him is the right way. They're actually, I think Dead Doll might actually die here. They're going to get this turret just trying to kite him.
It's close, actually.
Is he going to get away? It looks like he just barely is.
Yeah, so he's gonna have Scarf come in here. Oh, a very aggressive gauntlet coming down here from
I can't believe he's actually staying. I think he should have just dropped the gauntlet and left. That was really weird.
We do have Sky coming back, but he's not there just yet. Maybe if he can come into this fight and land a good ult.
Or without the ult, just doing a ton of damage anyways.
And Shifang will escape, but will lose 2 of his members there. Godfather not even joining in the damage. He's like, okay, you got it. And, whoa. Flying around the house to unfold. There we go.
Okay. No, I mean, they're controlling the jungle. This is what DMG does when they get ahead. They just control the jungle, take every farm that you could ever have, and then once it's all gone, they take everything that's in the lane away from you and push the lane down. If you try to leave your base, they're going to block you in, they're going to trap you in, they're going to lock you in there. And that's what we're going to start to see here. The next gold payout is going to probably happen around Kraken in about 2 minutes. And I don't think that ETW is really going to be able to contest that.
We do have tons of damage coming out from Godfather as well. Doesn't even need his ultimate at this point. It's just that huge crystal damage.
I thought he might drop it there, but he doesn't need it, like you said. And we do have big kills going down. Rona does steal the gold mine away and takes 216, a decent gold payout.
attempting to juke around, maybe knowing that there's no escape, so you might as well just delay the enemy Rona.
Well, also, you know, if he had died literally 2 seconds faster, it would have been an ace, and he prevented that, so that's a pretty big deal. But the push continues, meanwhile, on the other side of things, as Godfather is pushing here. Just doing tons of damage. That gauntlet is not going to be enough to get the kill. But the control here is insane of these heroes. They can't even leave their base. They can't leave the fountain.
Yeah. Bit of an aggressive ultimate there from Sky. One of the things that's impressed me the most about these Chinese teams so far compared to other pro teams is that they really know how to end games. They're very efficient about it. They're like, okay, we got that turret. Now is when we're going to once again farm up the jungle, buy your last items, and now we're going for the final push. And they don't seem to buy many infusions until that final push. Whereas, you know, in some other regions and some other games that you see from other players, they'll buy infusions around the time of Kraken, you know, maybe when they're trying to take a big gold mine or just try to swing the game in their favor, you know, take a risk, buy an infusion, stuff like that. But as you see, now is the time for the final push. They've gotten that last non-vein crystal turret, and they buy all the infusions and go for the fight.
Yeah. It's actually a really good analysis of what we've been seeing all day today. And I think it's just simply going to continue with this final push. Let's see if ETW can turn it around. Seems unlikely, but DMG's going to go for Ernst first. Our #1 Scarf today is going to survive.
Yeah, he gets the participation award for #1 Scarf.
He's actually going to get a kill. And this game will not end, as it looks like they might get even a second kill.
Yeah, so much for final push. Godfather had other thoughts about getting the Kraken first, which he does get. And let's see if he could actually go for the 1v3 here. He's going to take out Rona, now trying to take out Scarf, going to use the reflex block. I'm not sure if that's going to work. And that's going to be an ace and some free gold once they take out that Kraken. Shouldn't even touch the turrets.
I think that was actually just a little bit of styling.
Yeah. They were trying to style way too hard there.
Definitely going to come back to bite them here. This doesn't mean that ETW wins off of this, because they still have to, like you said, deal with the Kraken. I'm not sure if it's not going to touch the turrets. I think it actually will end up touching them. But I think that's mostly just because Shifang was not up at that time. So now, finally, 3 are attacking it. It's not going to get much done. It's not going to kill a turret.
After all, it's just going to be 1.5k gold that goes towards ETW that shouldn't have been given up. I think they should have either committed to the Kraken or commit to the final push. It was, as you said before, I think just styling there, like, oh, we're way far ahead. We can win this one easy. And maybe some miscommunication as well about what they actually wanted to do as a team.
It's like Godfather was like, I'll 1v3 them after I get the Kraken, so you guys
I'll
can
get the
go
Kraken
whatever.
alone and then 1v3 them.
So you guys can go do whatever. If you die, it's fine.
Godfather trying too hard, it seems. So now they're in this awkward position where they could try to go for another final push, but ETW's in a better spot.
Yeah,
also, Kraken's not up, so they couldn't go for a Kraken push yet.
Yeah, there's no objectives currently, really. I mean, they're just going to try to siege push, it looks like. And they don't have the best comp for that. Obviously, Godfather's able to siege push decently, especially minion waves, but you know, he's not going to be able to siege push like the heroes.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to poke them that well.
Now look at this. You have double infusion being picked up, 1 for Scarf, 1 for Rona on ETW's side, and they could realistically take a fight here as long as they get a good engage. They're right next to their turrets, and I think DMG is beginning to realize this. They're like, okay, we need to be very careful about how we engage here, if we engage at all, and maybe even just go back, especially after some of these Spitfires land.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to do some damage, see if they can get an opportunity, and wait for the next Kraken to spawn. And on their way back, they're going to try to get some farm. DMG's playstyle is very systematic. It's like pretty easy to predict what they're going to do.
Kind of reminds me of a Korean team in some other games where they're just like very, very solid. They have some guys that can style. You know, you got your Godfathers, you got your Fakers, guys that are going to come in here and just own up the enemy team by themselves at times. But overall, just very systematic plays, as you say. I think that's a really good point.
Yeah. It's just kind of like, okay, no Kraken, we back up, take jungle. Is there Kraken? Nope, we take our own jungle.
We push, are they gonna make a mistake? Nope, we back.
Yeah.
We farm more, we buy all the infusions, and we push again.
Dead Doll isn't level 12 yet either, which he will be soon, but something to keep in mind.
Yeah, Remix himself only at 10.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we're going to see that engage here. There's the gauntlet for both teams. I'd say the better gauntlet, actually, for ETW. But that ult is doing a ton of damage for Sky. And Shifeng is trying to get on him. And down he goes.
Yeah, it was a nice try to get behind Sky, but after all, it's just not going to work. Even though Scarf was getting huge amounts of damage with the Dragon's Breath and some nice plays from Shifeng, I think that will be it, as we are already 20 minutes into the game, long death timers, and DMG is going to come ahead and get first place.
That they are. They're going to take out the last of these two turrets. And despite the styling, despite them kind of messing around there for a brief moment, they are going to close it out here. And very, very well done, very well played by DMG today. The favorites to win this tournament, but showing again that they are not invincible. They did lose one game to ETW, but beat them in the rematch.
Yeah, very nicely done. So we're back here in the studio. That's, that's going to be all the matches we do have today. We're going to, round it up, take a look at the results, and maybe some of tomorrow's matchups as well.
That's right. Let's take a look at those results for today. We're going to look at the Group A standings. ETW beat Guest 2-0. Then Guest was able to take out IDO, and so did DMG. So IDO going 0-2 back-to-back in these best of twos for our first three matches. And then we went into matches 4, 5, and 6, where DMG and ETW tied, the only tied match of the day. The ETW defeated IDO 2-0, so IDO went 0-6 for the day's matches, and then DMG was able to take out Guest there 2-0.
Yeah, Guest going 1-2 rather, I believe. We did have the tiebreaker here. DMG does win that in that best of one and will take first place. Obviously going up against the second place team of tomorrow's group, which is Group B.
Group B consists of Mustang, CNL, Delta, and TBT. So it should be a lot of good matches tomorrow. We're going to get to know some new teams and some new players. So definitely tune in tomorrow. We're going to be here at the same time, same place, on the same stream. And here are the order of the matches.
Yeah, we're going to have Mustang going up against TBT to start things off, two of the best names in this entire thing. And then Mustang going up against Delta, Delta going up against CNL, and CNL up against TBT, Delta up against TBT, and then Mustang coming back for the last match up against CNL.
That's right, all best of twos, the same exact format that we had today. It's going to be starting at 2 p.m. KST, Korean time. And then, of course, the winners of this group will move on to the semifinals to play against the winners that we just had for Group A. Semifinals are going to be double elimination, and then we're going to have the finals right after that.
Yeah, so that's going to be the most fun day for me, at least. The best four teams come in, and you get a long semifinals, that double elimination, as you said. And it's just going to be a lot of fun, but we got to go to Saturday first tomorrow.
That's right. So have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, and have some happy Vainglory. We'll see you then.